citizens of the United States. We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Let's go ahead and disassemble the illusion of freedom. In Reno, a citizen went to jail 6 months because he had a wind turbine on his property. They have you create the illusion that you own your property, but yet you can't do nothing on it. You can't have a garden. You can't have a wind turbine. Because why? They want you hooked up to big electric corporations, gas corporations. Like Columbia Gas has a monopoly. And in certain states, Texas being one, you cannot collect rainwater on your own property. So the illusion that you can do what you want on your own property drives me to this fact. The housing market is worthless. What is the point of getting a house when you do not have the right to do what you want with it? You have to have a building permit to add on. You have to have permission to put something on your own property. You can't have wind-powered power on your own property. So therefore, and you pay property tax until your last and dying breath. So are you waking up yet? Do you realize that you do not own your property? So I suggest crash of the housing market. What's the point of buying a house when the illusion is you never own it? Wake up to this illusion. It is not worth it. Same thing with the banking system. The banks get your money, they put it in the bank. Then they use your money to buy other properties. But try this. Call up your bank and joke with them and tell them you don't have the money for your house payment and see if they don't take your house. But yet they use your money every day. The common citizen would go to jail for stealing a said candy bar. But yet Wells Fargo steals millions. In Lorain County, Ohio, we vote to not increase the taxes. So what does the commission do? They go behind everybody's backs in Lorain County and pass the bill anyways. This is the illusion of freedom. You don't have the freedom of choice either. Because seatbelts are proven to harm people and help people. So shouldn't it be a choice if you want to wear a seatbelt or not? No. Try to get pulled over with no seatbelt and see how fast you get a ticket. This is the illusion of freedom. The illusion of the freedom of choice. You don't have the freedom of speech. It's just one big illusion. And the question is, when is everybody else going to wake up to it? Hopefully this message today wakes somebody up. So you'll no longer be dismayed in the illusion of freedom. Because you're not free. We are like in a cage. Birds in a cage. And we go from one cage to the next cage. You can't go to wherever you want. You can't travel how you want to. So it's one big fraudulent illusion. And yet the forces of darkness, the government, and other forces that be the 1%, they control everything. They have abused their power. They have abused the will of the people. They have abused its people in many ways. They say there's no money to feed the veterans. There's no money to help the homeless. Then why is it that they gave Israel $38 billion to fund war when they're constantly invaded Pakistani land? That's not right. But yet, the U.S. continues to give them money, but leaves our own veterans to suffer in the street. Do you still think your government cares about you? Please wake up. This is an illusion. Please hear my message and unite with us this year, November 5th, 2017, Washington, D.C. for a week-long Occupy. Keep in mind this is a peaceful Occupy. We are asking all Anons to sit down and not to start no trouble because we know that the federal government will insert troublemakers. So we must be beyond them. We must think outside the box. I hope you hear my message and you wake up to the illusion that you are not free. You do not have choices. You do not own your house. You'll never own your house. You cannot do what you want on your own property. You don't even have the ability to vote. We must wake up to this. This criminal activity and this abuse from our government and the powers that be and these city members and these council members that do and say and do what they want and they say there's no money. I think across the United States, everybody needs to start looking into the state's budget. Because out of the average homeowner pays $900 to $2,500 a year in taxes, property taxes. And yet you still cannot do what you want on your own property. Are you waking up? It's the same thing as renting a house. You got to ask your landlord to do stuff on the property. You might as well rent and crash the housing market. Same thing with the banking. Everybody should take their money out of the bank. Tell the bank that's where you go. Wells Fargo didn't do 1 day in jail. They didn't even see booking. They got a fine. But if that was us, me or you, the common citizen, we'd be up under the jail looking at 20 years for stealing that much money. But yet they go unpunished. It is time that they are punished and held accountable for their crimes. They should be in prison. And it's up to us to put them there. We are anonymous. We are Legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. And we are coming.